Hello there, Emma. I'm just messaging to tell you that you should marry Gerald and not Tony.
Mimi, please, how many times have we already had the same conversation? The man that I've been dating this whole time is Tony, and he's the man I'm going to marry.
What are you talking about? I need to make sure that Gerald gets married before his brother. I realized that when Tony brought you home with him that I had to do something to help Gerald find a wife quickly. So anyways, that's why you're going to be marrying Gerald instead. And I won't take no for an answer.
Mimi, you can say whatever you'd like, but it isn't going to change my mind about this. I'm going to marry Tony, and that's final. I mean, I don't even think I've spent more than an hour cumulatively with Gerald.
But I'm sure that you would come to love him if you just knew him a little better. I promise that he really is an amazing guy, and you wouldn't regret marrying him. Don't make me force this to happen. Don't forget that the two of you are married now. If you try and break this off or do anything to ruin the fact that you're engaged to Gerald, I will sue you into oblivion. Do you understand?
I seriously have no idea how to even respond to this, but please don't spout this crazy nonsense and then threaten me with legal action. Anyways, I have to go. Hey, Tony, I'm really sorry to bug you while you're away on your business trip, but it's just that your mom started talking to me about marrying your brother again.
You're kidding me. I thought that you talked to her about that.
In fact, apparently in her head, she seems to think that Gerald and I are already engaged or something. There was one time she told me that if I broke off my engagement with him, that she would sue me.
Emma, I am so sorry that you're having to deal with all this right now. I wish my mom would stop all this nonsense.
I mean, I wonder how Gerald himself feels about all this. Probably doesn't like being put in this situation any more than I do. Feels like your mom would be the kind of person to push this, whether or not the both of us wanted it or not.
I think you're probably right about that. But actually, I talked to Gerald a little bit about this earlier.
Really? I didn't know you two were still talking. When was the last time that you even had a good chat with each other? If I remember correctly, you two haven't been the closest of people ever since Gerald quit his job at the big company and shut himself up in his room.
I know that it seems that way, but that's not what's really happening at all.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that the real reason why he quit his first job was because he was in the process of publishing his first book.
Oh, really? I had no idea that Gerald wrote anything.
Well, it's already a bestseller and has even been picked up by some streaming service to be turned into a show.
That's amazing. He must be so proud.
I would think so. But he's basically doing all of this online, so he hasn't had the need to go into the office or even leave his room, really. Besides, he's always more of an indoor person anyways. I think he's probably glad to have less reasons to leave the house now.
Oh, I see. So that's how things are.
But I think that he still hasn't told anyone that he's gone and published his book already. I think he's just worried that if Mom finds out, she will just use it to brag to everyone she knows about him and just never give him any peace or privacy. So that's why he's been pretending to be the antisocial shut-in this whole time. He's really just waiting for the right timing to come forward about this since he knows it's going to be a big deal. I think that Mom knows that you also work for a big company though, and so she wants you and Gerald to get married because she thinks he needs someone to take care of him.
So then, I think that I'm going to marry your brother and do everything for him on top of that?
Well, that's what my mom thinks, but Gerald doesn't want that at all.
Oh, well, as long as he understands that it isn't going to happen, that's good.
Right. So anyways, while we were talking, he explained all this to me and apologized for seeming to act so standoffish. But now the problem is how to move forward from here. In fact, Gerald was kind of hoping that you and I would be able to help him come out to the world as an author.
He wants our help with that. How so?
Well, the first thing I should let you know is that Gerald already has a fiancé.
Hold on a second, he does? I had no idea.
But yesterday, my mom was going on about how he needs to marry you again. Gerald mentioned something about already being engaged, however, and I guess my mom just assumed that he meant he was engaged to you. She thought that he was already in on her plan and was moving forward with it. You know that my mom probably wouldn't even listen to anything that proved the contrary.
Wow, your mom just really lives in her own world sometimes, doesn't she?
She has always been like this though. Ever since we were little, Our mom has always tried to control every little thing we did and manage our lives.
You've told me a little bit about that before, but I feel bad for your brother having to deal with that.
But now that mom has got it in her head that Gerald is engaged to you, he is worried that that is going to make things very difficult with his own fiancée, and that is what he wants our help with. So we're going to wait for a day when mom is at home for all of us to meet and talk face to face.
Wow, this is all so much. You've been thinking about this a lot.
Well, this is going to be the talk where we can all finally decide how to get my mom out of our lives once and for all.
That's a pretty heavy task, but if you want help, just let me know what I can do.
Hello there, Emma. I assume the preparations for the wedding are continuing along nicely? And I imagine that you've already divorced Tony, yes?
I actually haven't done that at all, actually.
Excuse me? What are you doing? You need to get a divorce right now.
That's just not going to happen. In fact, Gerald said that it was a surprise for you that I wouldn't not be divorcing Tony, in fact.
A surprise for me? What is that supposed to mean?
I don't really know all the details, and can't say any more than this. I also have to go right now. Bye!
I see. Maybe Gerald is planning some kind of dramatic way to announce his marriage to you for everyone. Well, if he wants this to be a surprise, then I guess I won't ask any more questions either. Emma, where are you? Why haven't you arrived yet? You know you need to get here early for makeup and to fit into your dress. You're so late already. Emma, answer me right now. I have had just about enough of this nonsense, Emma.
Sorry, what are you talking about right now, Mimi?
I mean that you are supposed to marry Gerald so that you can take care of him. But now I've just been told that you've made a last-minute cancellation and you're not even going to be here? How could you just leave my poor boy at the altar like that?
I don't really know how else to say this, but Gerald and I were never going to get married. In fact, I'm on my honeymoon right now, actually.
What do you mean you're on your honeymoon?
I mean that Tony and I are on our honeymoon right now. And I suppose it's a good time as any to say that Tony and I got married in secret about 2 weeks ago.
But I don't get it. Gerald is here and he's still getting ready for the wedding.
Oh, I see. Well, either way, Tony and I have no intention of separating, and I was never going to marry Gerald either.
I won't let you get away with this. I mean, just who do you think is going to pay for all of this? You know that Gerald doesn't work. He can't afford something like this.
I don't know what is happening over there, and I don't want to. Please leave Tony and I out of it, okay? Now, goodbye.
Emma, you get back here right now and explain what's going on. What is going on here? I am still so confused.
What are you talking about this time, Mimi?
I mean that Gerald, my poor sweet little Gerald.
What about Gerald? Did something happen?
Well, he had to cancel the wedding since his bride never showed up. So he told me that he would take care of the cleanup and just go home. But then after I left, apparently some totally random lady showed up and Gerald married her.
So then the wedding wasn't canceled after all.
I guess not, but I don't even know who this person is.
I'd probably guess it's the woman that Gerald was dating and then engaged to.
What are you talking about? Gerald wasn't seeing anyone because he was supposed to be marrying you. I think I would know if my son was engaged to someone.
Are you really sure about that?
Of course I am. But this is all your fault. You're the one making this happen. You stabbed my son in the back, and now you've made him marry some stranger out of desperation. How do you sleep at night?
Mom, you've got to stop this. It's getting ridiculous.
Tony, what is this all about?
Did you really have no idea that Gerald was seeing this girl this whole time?
Why are you talking to me about your brother? If you're mad at him for trying to steal your wife, go talk to him about it.
Mom, he was never trying to do anything like that. You were the one that got it in your head to try and set up Kenna with Gerald, but neither of them wanted that. Gerald tried to tell you that he was already engaged, but you only heard what you wanted to hear and thought that he meant to Emma. You always do this. You never listen to when other people try to say when you're wrong.
How can you say something like that to your own mother?
Because it's true. Speaking of, have you seen Gerald's room?
What about his room? Give me a moment. I don't get it. What is going on? The whole room is totally empty. There's nothing left.
Well, it was all Gerald's idea, really. Although he left you a note explaining things in your mailbox. I would read that very carefully so you can understand how Gerald and I really feel about all of this. Although it's way too late to change our minds now. This is my last goodbye, Mom. Have a nice life.
Wait, no, Tony! I still don't understand!
In the end, Gerald stopped talking to his mom without ever telling her what he really did for a living. Now he lives with his wife close to her parents. Tony and I have also moved recently as part of a job transfer. The new job was partially for better pay, but also because Tony didn't want his mom barging into the office and embarrassing him. She actually did do that, but it was too late and we were already gone. Also, Tony asked the receptionist at his office to tell her that we had quit. With no way to track us down, Mimi was left with no family to turn to and lives out her days in her big empty house all by herself.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Lauro, is it true that you're going to get married? And not just to anyone, but to the daughter of an entrepreneur?
What? Mother?
So, when is she coming to visit us for our permission?
What do you mean, permission?
Permission for the marriage, of course. So, when is it going to be?
We're not going to be visiting you.
What? You're not coming to visit?
Of course we aren't. What makes you think we'd come visit you? Didn't I already tell you 8 years ago when I left that I'd never be coming back unless it was some sort of huge emergency?
What? You're seriously not coming? I mean, I guess this isn't an emergency or anything, but this is still an important moment in your life, right? Come on, Lauro. You're our son. Are you seriously not going to let us be a part of something as important as your marriage?
I may be your son by law, but you guys aren't an important part of my life anymore. I put all of that behind when I left. You guys are basically just a bad memory to me now. Anyways, I've already told you multiple times, but I have no intention of coming home.
Huh? Come on, Lauro. Why don't we just forget about all of that? You said it yourself. It's the past, right? Why don't we just start over anew as a happy family again?
I don't remember ever being a happy family. Seriously, can't you tell how I feel by how the only point of contact I have with you anymore is WhatsApp? I'm not you and Dad's puppet anymore. 8 years ago, I left you guys on the condition that I'd pay for the 30,000 euros of debt you two had. At that moment, I decided that not only would I never return to that house, but I'd never even return to that hometown. I was famous back there for being left to my own devices by my parents, and I don't have any friends because of it, which is why there's nothing tying me to that place anymore.
You say all that, but I see right through what you're planning, Lauro. To be honest, I'm impressed. Well, you are our son after all.
Huh? What in the world are you talking about?
Never mind. I understand what you wanted to tell me very well in this conversation. Do whatever you want. Get married for all I care.
You don't have to tell me. I'm going to get married with or without your permission. Bye. Hi, Rosita. Is now a good time?
Oh, hi, Lauro. What is it?
There's something urgent I want to talk to you about.
I'm in the train right now, so it's fine if it's by text. What's the matter?
You see, my parents found out that I'm going to get married.
What? But I thought you had cut ties with them and were careful that the information wouldn't leak.
Yeah, it looks like I was just really unlucky. You see, they just sent me a text earlier. This is just a guess, but I'm thinking that they find out through my aunt, who happened to have business with our company recently.
Oh, your aunt that believes that relatives should always stick with each other no matter what?
Yeah, that aunt. The one that keeps bugging me to make up with my parents and start things over with them. Seriously, why can't she just mind her own business? Anyways, I didn't notice, but apparently she saw me passing by while she was in the waiting room of our office. That's when she got a hold of one of our employees who didn't know about my parents and skillfully made him tell her everything about our marriage. Jesus, she really messed up big this time.
I see. It looks like it was pretty bad timing then.
Tell me about it. My parents didn't object to our marriage, but I got the feeling by how my mum was talking that she was up to something. I'm worried they might try and do something crazy now that they know about us. And I'm especially worried about you, since it seems that they know who you are now as well.
Do you think it's a good idea if we don't see each other in public for the time being?
I thought that as well, but that is the demerit of them having the chance to approach you while you're on your own. Seriously, what should we do about this?
Why don't we just turn in the marriage papers tomorrow?
Huh?
I think the best thing to do is to move our plans forward as much as possible, so that everything will be over before they have time to react.
That's a good idea. My mum and dad may seem like idiots, but they won't hesitate to act when a chance to steal some of my money's involved. They could already be on their way here for all I know. Well, let's turn in the marriage papers tomorrow then. It's not like the exact date we get married actually matters, right? Yeah, I expect that we take care of things as fast as possible now that they know about our marriage.
Alright. Meet me at the city hall tomorrow after we're done with the work.
Yeah, got it. Sorry I have to go through this trouble just because of my parents.
Don't worry about it. It's not just your parents that are troublesome after all.
Thanks. It really makes me feel better hearing you say that.
No problem. See you tomorrow then.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
Lauro? Why are you running away from us? But I only wanted to celebrate my son getting married, which is why I was waiting for you outside the city hall. You're so mean getting a taxi and running away from us like that.
You weren't waiting for me outside the city hall, but you followed me there from my office, didn't you? You probably heard from your sister about where I work, but the only person I talked to about turning in the marriage papers today was my wife, which means that you must have followed me.
So you found out. Well, there's no need to be so mad, is there, though? I mean, we basically already made up, right?
I don't know if you're joking or not, but just stop. I have no intention of getting back together with you two.
Come on, stop trying to act all tough. I mean, I understand very well now that even you, at the end of the day, are just someone who loves money.
Huh? What in the world are you talking about?
Your wife is the only daughter of an entrepreneur, right? Not only that, but she lost both her parents in an accident 2 years ago and was left with a massive inheritance.
Yeah, and what about that?
Lauro, it touches me to know that you care for us so deeply.
Seriously, what the fuck are you talking about?
You did amazing, Lauro. You're a genius, my son. Now that you guys are married, she's ours. My God, if only I had known sooner that I had given birth to a prodigy.
Would you please tell me first what you're talking about?
The wife's money is also the husband's money, right? And the son's money is also the parents' money. Which means that your wife's money is now ours. We're filthy rich now, Lauro, and it's all thanks to you.
No, that's not why I married her.
Come on, Lauro. There's no need to hide your true self to me. After all, I am your mother, right? Why don't the three of us use your wife's money to live a life of luxury from now on? But first, we need to do something about this debt of ours.
You seriously got into debt again?
Who cares if I got into debt again? We're going to pay it off with your wife's money. So could you please give me 100,000 euros from your wife's bank account?
100,000 euros?
You see, we were told by the strange man that if we gave him money, he'd give it back tenfold. And so me and your dad both gave him 5,000 euros for a total of 10,000 euros. We thought that it was an investment, but the money wouldn't quite return for some reason. We thought that we just needed to give him a bit more money, and before we knew it, I had spent 100,000 euros.
What the fuck are you doing? That's a scam no matter how you look at it. Seriously, you fell for something as easily seen through as that and threw away 100,000 euros. Just how much of a scumbag are you two?
Come now, don't get so mad, Loro. Even me and your dad went pale when we found out that we were 100,000 euros in debt, but now we have your wife's money. I'm so glad you were kind enough to catch her for us, Loro. Of course, we won't be so barbaric as to ask you two to let us live with you. Just give us 100,000 euros for now, and that's it. You probably won't hear from us again for a few months at least. Come on, don't be so selfish. 100,000 euros is probably nothing for someone like her, right? No one is going to gain from you holding back her money from us like this. All you'd be doing is making your parents disappointed in you, for no good reason at that.
To think that someone like this is my parent. It makes me so embarrassed that I'd like my body replaced for another, if possible.
What?
I didn't pick my wife so that you two could pay off your debts.
Don't tell me, Bud. Are you seriously so selfish as to use all that money for yourself and not give us any? I'm not going to forgive something as unfair as that, Loro.
Say whatever you want. All I want is to have a happy family with my wife. There's no space for toxic parents like you in our family.
You ungrateful brat. I'm the one who gave birth to you, so technically everything you have is thanks to me, you know.
Hi, Rosita, sorry about earlier.
Oh, hi, Loro.
Did anything happen to you once the taxi dropped you off at the station? I don't think my parents have the resources to hire other people to catch you, but...
Yeah, I'm fine, but I got on the train just like you told me, and...
Sorry, but I need you to stay on the train a bit longer. I'm going to reserve a room for you at the business hotel near the airport. So could you wait for me there until I come for you?
Alright. I can reserve a hotel room on my own, you know. I'll tell you once I decide which hotel I'm going to be staying at.
Sorry, you're right.
What are you going to be doing?
I've already finished preparing for our departure, but since we were only supposed to depart on the morning of the day after tomorrow, I left my passport and plane tickets at home. I need to go back first.
Yep, you can't get a flight without those.
Still though, to think that they were actually already on their way here yesterday when we had our conversation. Looks like I underestimated their determination when it came to stealing my money. I'm lucky that today was the last day at the office and the final few days until I resign. I'm going to be working remotely. Even my office laptop I have right now, they said I could just return to them by mail after I resign. I'll just hide somewhere until I flight and wait this out.
Is it alright if you're texting me like this right now? I have the feeling that your parents are looking for you as we speak.
It's alright. See, I've already left the house and now in an internet cafe. I'm pretty sure they won't find me here as I'm currently hiding in one of the most crowded areas of the city.
Really? That's good, I guess. I'm currently in an internet cafe right now. I told my company about what was happening, and they said I could work remotely from a hotel or something until our day of departure.
Oh, that's so? We're lucky the companies we work at are so understanding, eh? Seriously, I don't think that many employers would just believe it when you said your mother-in-law was chasing you so you had to hide.
Yeah, alright. I'll contact you again when I reserve a hotel room. Take care, alright?
Yeah, you too.
Loro, where are you right now? We didn't have a place to stay tonight, so we thought that we would stay at your house, but you weren't there. Your dad got angry and he started banging on the door, and so one of your neighbors called the police on us. Thankfully, I was able to calm him down and drag him away before the police came, though.
You know even where I live?
Yup, my sister told me.
Huh? Your sister again? Seriously, just how resourceful is that woman if she could find my house like this? Does she have experience working at a detective agency or something?
Actually, she has, but that's not the point. I should have asked her to tell me last night and not today, since it seems it was already too late. Last night was a mess as well, you know. We used up almost all of our remaining money to get here, so we had to sleep in a park. We don't have any money anymore, so just hurry up and come home so you can let us in.
I don't live in that house anymore.
Huh? Oh, did you move to your wife's mansion or something like that? Alright, if that's the case, then we'll go there as well. Just tell me what the address is.
No, my wife already sold her mansion. She won't be able to sleep there tonight either.
What? She sold it? Why?
I don't know, ask her yourself, because the two of us already got divorced.
Huh? But you only got married yesterday. What do you mean you got divorced? And here I thought that you were some sort of prodigy. I take everything nice I said to you back.
Don't blame me, because it's you and Dad's fault, you know. I mean, your eyes lit up with joy at the thought of her money, even though she was standing right in front of you, and you kept sending those texts of yours even though my wife was sitting right next to me. And at the end, you even told me about your 100,000 euros of debt. Of course she'd want to divorce me, even if she liked me or whatever.
What? Couldn't your wife just take 100,000 euros out of her bank account and give it to us? 100,000 euros is nothing for her, right? Wow, what a selfish woman this ex-wife of yours is.
It's much better than a greedy parent whose only thought is of stealing your money, though.
What? Greedy? Me? But all I'm asking for is 100,000 euros to pay off our debt. Don't you think it's only natural for a son to pay off his parents' debt in situations like this?
So you don't even realise you're greedy? No, I don't think that asking your son to pay off all your debts for you is natural. Besides, my wife doesn't have 100,000 euros, so he wouldn't be able to give it to you even if he wanted to.
Huh? But I thought that she was the only daughter of an entrepreneur, and that she lost both her parents in an accident 2 years ago. She must have enough money to support the four of us for the rest of our lives, right?
No, actually, she's not swimming in money. You see, my late father-in-law had 3 other children with his first wife.
What?
You probably want to say now that even then she would have received a quarter of the inheritance, right? But see, my wife gave up her right of laying a claim on the inheritance.
What?
Apparently it's going to be a huge hassle for her since she was the daughter of her father's second wife. And it's not like she was in poverty and couldn't support herself or anything. Neither is she the type to waste money. Which is also why she doesn't want to have anything to do with scumbags like you and Dad who take out loans as if it was nothing and at the end of the day end up nothing but the dredges of society.
She called us the dredges of society? Hold on, Lauro. You need to hand over this ex-wife of yours to us. Not only did she not lay claim to her father's inheritance, but now she's insulting us? There's no way I'm going to just let this go.
I already told you we got divorced. There's nothing I can do to her anymore.
Fine, if that's the case, then you do something about our 100,000 euros of debt. The debt of the parents is the debt of the children.
Right, and which fucking law says that exactly? I mean, it looks like it's about time for me to get started on the work I had left to do.
Which means that you're in your office right now, right?
No, I'm working remotely today.
What? Remote work?
Yeah, which is why I don't have to actually be at the office to work. Today was my last day at the office and I'm going to be working remotely until the day of my resignation.
You're resigning?
I'll say this in advance, but since I've only been working here for a few years, the money I'm going to receive for the resignation, basically just a small gift. Please don't rely on my money, because I'm going to be unemployed soon.
Wow, I didn't expect this, I guess.
Alright, this is the last time I'm going to be contacting you, I guess.
But you were our last hope.
Bye.
How are we supposed to give back the 100,000 euros now?
First of all, I think I need to clarify that part about me and Rosita getting divorced was just a lie to buy us some time. It was a ploy to make my parents give up completely after I told them that Rosita didn't actually inherit any money from her father. I normally don't condone lying even to people I dislike, but this was my parents who we were dealing with, so I made an exception. A few days after this, I met my wife Rosita, who was waiting for me at the airport. We headed for England, where it was decided a few months ago that my wife would be relocated as part of her job. By the way, the part about me becoming unemployed was also a lie. I used the experience and knowledge I gained while working at my previous job to become a freelance worker, so I'm not actually unemployed. It was 3 weeks later when my parents found out that I'd lied to them. It seems that they intend to make me pay for their debt no matter what, and for some reason have brought along my aunt with them and are currently searching for me in the capital city. Apparently both my parents and my aunt suddenly disappeared without a trace one day, but since I already cut ties with them, I'm really not interested in what happened after that.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.